was talking to you about function, a function f of x is something like 1 by x minus 1 or anything ax square plus bx plus c, and to be specific we were talking about algebraic function. Okay, now before we start and as we wait for others to join, here are some small questions for you. Suppose f of x is equal to 1 by x minus 1, then can you find out f of 1 by x? Then f of x is equal to 1 by x squared minus 5x plus 6. Find the domain. So can we do these two questions? So the first one, if I have f of x is equal to 1 by x minus 1, then f of 1 by x will be what? Instead of x, I substitute 1 by x. So 1 by x minus 1. Now I can take LCM common and it becomes x by 1 minus x. I took LCM, so x comes here and this goes up, so it becomes x by 1 minus x. Yeah. So I hope you are able to understand. Then the next question is f of x is equal to 1 by x square minus 5x plus 6. I have to find out the domain. So domain means what? Domain is all the values of x for which the function is defined. So now this function will not be defined if x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Then this is a quadratic. So I can write this as x square minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. So I can write it as x minus 3 minus 2 x minus 3 is equal to 0. So you have x minus 2 into x minus 3 is equal to 0. So you have x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3. So at x is equal to 2 and 3, this x square minus 5x plus 6 becomes 0. So if f of x is equal to this much, then the domain of this x belongs to R, all real numbers minus these two numbers, 2, 3. Okay, so this is how I can write this. Yeah, so this is how you find out the domain. Domain of any function refers to all the values of x for which the function is defined. What do you mean by defined? Defined means it doesn't take an indeterminate value. What do you mean by indeterminate value? 1 by infinity is indeterminate. 1 by infinity is determinate, it is 0, but 1 by 0 is indeterminate, it is infinity, we don't know what it is. Okay. Okay, so if you understood it, we will move ahead. Then in the last class, I was also trying to explain to you, suppose f of x is equal to 1 by some function x minus a, how to draw a graph for this. Now this particular function will not exist at x is equal to a. So at x is equal to a, at this value, this function doesn't exist. But I know if x is little more than a, f of x is at plus infinity. So it goes this way. Then I know if x is less than this, it is minus infinity. So it is negative, so it goes this way. So if you ask me, how does f of 1 by x minus a look? This is a here, so it looks something like this. So looking at a function, I am trying to draw the graph of the function. Okay, so this is where we had come to last time. Not everybody will be able to do this. That's okay. We are learning and we have a long time to learn. But at least we will keep talking to us about talking to ourselves with this kind of a terminology, so that over a period of time we understand it. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. So we will look little bit more about domain and range and then try to understand what it is. Suppose I say f of x is equal to 1 by x, where x belongs to real numbers, not equal to 0. Then what is the range for this function? Range refers to the corresponding values of y. So if x belongs to R, x not equal to 0. If x is negative number, it will be negative. So here y will belong to R. 1 by x. How does 1 by x look? 1 by x will, on the right side of 0, it will look like this. On the left side of 0, it will look like this. So it can take any number. No, I'm making an error here. On the left side of 0, it will look like this. So it can look like any number it can be anything. It can be anything on the, except for it will touch, when it goes to infinity, it will touch 0. So there is no except. So it can be any number. So y will also belong to R. Okay. Now if you look at it, this side and this side looks symmetric. This side and this side looks symmetric. If you place a mirror here, yeah, these two look symmetric. Such functions are said to be even functions. Even functions are those functions which look symmetric about the origin, about a line parallel, 45 degrees to the origin, they will look symmetric. So I said even function, I'm sorry, it's an odd function. It's an odd function. Okay, this is an odd function. Now, odd function, suppose you have a function which is having odd powers of x. So this -1 is an odd power. So odd power of x will become an odd function. For an odd function, f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. F of minus x is equal to minus f of x. For example, if I have 1 by x, f of minus x is equal to 1 by minus x. So that is minus 1 by x. Then f of x is 1 by x, so that is minus. So this, if this function is true, if this relation is true, then it is an odd function. If f of minus x is equal to f of x, then it's an even function. These are all terminologies. That's it. These are all terminologies. Why is India called India? You don't have a reason for that. Same way, this is called an even function. This is called an even function because here the powers of x, suppose you have x square. Suppose you have f of x is equal to x square. Then what is f of minus x? F of minus x is minus x the whole square, which is equal to x square, which is f of x, right? So here, because these powers are all even, there this is called an even function. This is called an odd function. So if you have x cubed, x plus x cubed, x plus x cubed plus x power 5, so all these are odd functions. Similarly, x square plus x power 4, x square plus x power 4 plus x power 6, all these are even functions. Then there are other kinds, x square plus x, neither odd nor even. So when you have functions, functions can be classified into odd functions They can be classified into even functions and neither odd nor even functions. Neither odd nor even functions. So these are examples is for an odd function f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. For an even function f of minus x is equal to f of x. For this, sum of odd plus even will give you neither odd nor even. Odd plus odd will give you odd. Even plus even will give you even. Okay. See, these are all not regular standard theory which will be there in books. These are all observations that I have learned as I have worked. Okay. So moral is basically you have to learn to observe. For whenever we get a question or whenever we read something, it is not the answer which is important. We have to analyze and then see, okay, what is it, how is it forming, how is it coming, and all that. Okay, so that is what we have to understand. Yeah, if you can make notes. Okay, so if you have made notes, you may have to make notes here. Then I hope you made notes here. Okay, then let's move on. So we are interested in graphs also. So the graphs of 1 by x, I have just now drawn for you. Graph of 1 by x will look like this. Then 1 by x square. 1 by x square will actually, it will fall faster. So it will fall faster, but after some time it will become, so suppose x is some 100. If x is some 100, then what will happen? If x is 100, then 1 by x and 1 by x square. So you have 1 by 100 and you have 1 by 100 squared. So 1 by 100 squared will become 0.0001. 1 by 100 will be 0.01. So this graph is wrong. Okay. So this basically, this is, if this is 1 by x, so 1 by x will always be above 1 by x square. Okay. So that we have to understand. So that kind of logics. But 1 by x square will fall faster. 1 by x square will fall faster. And then at x is equal to 1, both of them will be the same. At x is equal to 1, both of them will be the same. So if I have to draw it correctly, so you please understand how I'm trying to work out. So I'm not saying I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. 1 by x, 1 by x square. So I want to understand. See, if I have 1 by, let's say x is less than 1. So this is 1 by 0.1, 1 by 0.2, 1 by 0.5. So 1 by 0.1 is 10. 1 by 0.2 is 5. 1 by 0.5 is 2. Here, if I have 1 by 0.1 squared, it will become 100. If I 1 by 0.2 square, 1 by 0.2 square will become 25. If I have 1 by 0.5 square, it will become 0.4. So you see, this is steeper, this is going to be steeper, so this is going to be steeper, and then it goes this way. Now as far as this is concerned, these two will intersect at this point. So maybe if I have draw it in yellow, so they'll start somewhere at the same point, but this goes steeper, so it will come gradually, then it will cross, and then it will come down. So this is how it looks. This point is 1, so they both the curves will intersect at 1. So at x is equal to 1, y is also equal to 1. So that's how you basically you draw. Okay, then I'm comparing. When I'm comparing, I'll see that 1 by x will be less than 1 by, will be greater than 1 by x square. Okay, so this is the curve 1 upon x, and this is the curve 1 upon x square. They both will be starting at the same point, but this is coming gradually and this is coming down faster. It is coming down faster, but at 1, 1, both of them intersect, and then this will become lesser than this. Like this, we should only be trying to draw graphs. We have not learned any maths as of now. So the only way you can draw graphs is by intuition, by practice, by thinking about it. Understand what is a linear one. Linear one will be a straight line. So if you see v is equal to u plus at, if I ask you to draw this graph, so you have to be able to draw this graph. Now this one will be a straight line. Yeah. Now if it's a straight line, will it pass through the origin? So at v, here I have velocity, time. Here I have velocity. So at t is equal to 0, at t is equal to 0, this one will become 0. So v is equal to u. So v is equal to u. So it looks something like this. So then it is going to be a straight line. So this is the graph of v is equal to u plus at. So we will talk about all these things. Yeah. What do you understand by this kind of a graph? This kind of a graph, time, velocity, is a constant. Time is changing, but velocity is not. Time is changing, but velocity is not. So this is the thought process, right? Okay, so let's go back to functions and then let's work with some more. So algebraic functions, we did something. Now I'm going to talk about an operation. Suppose f of x is equal to x square. Suppose f of x is equal to x square. What is f of x plus h? Can I say it is equal to x plus h the whole square? Then can I say, okay, so this is okay. Suppose I am asking you what is f of x plus h minus f of x. So can I say that is equal to x plus h the whole square minus x square? Minus x square. Now suppose I am asking you, okay, can you find out f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h? So it is this divided by h. So can I say this looks like x square plus h square plus 2hx minus x square by h? So do you see that these two get cancelled? Do you see that this and this also are getting cancelled? Then do you see that what you are getting is 2 times x plus h? So that is what it is. 2 times x plus h. Now if I further say that h is a very small number. H is a very small number. Now I can say it is equal to 2 times x. Now mathematicians don't want to write. They want to have symbols for everything. So instead of saying h is very small number, they will say something like this: limit h tending to 0. Limit h tending to 0. So this is a very, very important operation for us. Yeah. So we would like to apply this on a few operations and check. Suppose f of x is equal to x cubed. Then I am talking about f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, limit h tending to 0. So what will this be equal to? Can you work it out and see what it is equal to? So I can say it is equal to x plus h the whole cubed minus x cubed by h. Now I can write this as x cubed plus 3x square h plus 3h square x plus h cubed minus x cubed by h. Now you see this and this will get cancelled. Now this, and this will become square. So if I perform this operation, I'll get 3x square plus 3hx plus h square. But I told you that h is close to 0. Close to 0 means how much? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. As many as you can write. 1. So close. So I can say this is 0. I can say this is also 0. And I will get 3x square. Do you understand? First, can you make notes here? Work with your hand. You don't have to understand just because I am doing it. This is just an operation. What is the operation? I have taken f of x plus h minus f of x and I'm dividing it by h, where h is a very small number. Okay, and then I have some questions for you after this. Okay, if you have understood this, then go to this. F of x is equal to x cubed. So I have limit of f of x plus h minus f of x by h. Yeah, some of you might be thinking that sir is in physics class, sir is only teaching maths. Don't worry, in no time we will start off with physics. This maths will help us for that. In another 3-4 classes, we will be starting with physics. Till then, we'll only do more of maths, different types of maths. So this also you have understood it. If you have not understood it, I'll do one more question for you. Suppose I have f of x is equal to ax square plus bx. Okay. Now I am asking you to find out f of x plus h minus f of x by h, limit h tending to 0. So don't go by what this is. Don't worry about it. All that they are saying is h is a very, very small number. How small a number? As small as you can imagine. So now let's talk about this. So if I'm talking about this, it becomes a x plus h the whole square plus b times x plus h minus ax square minus bx by h. So I can expand this a plus b whole square. I can expand this, so it becomes ax square plus ah square plus 2axh plus bx plus bh minus ax square minus bx whole divided by h limit h tending to 0 limit h tending to 0. So ax square get cancelled. This is ah square. I'm sorry, this won't get cancelled, leave it. Then here plus bx minus bx get cancelled. So this h here, this h here, this h here, and this h here gets cancelled. So I'll finally get how much? 2ax plus b plus ah. But h is tending to 0. If h is tending to 0, this will become 0. So I'll finally get 2ax plus b. So this, if I perform this operation, what will I get? 2ax plus b. Do you understand? Yeah, this is just some manipulation. That's all, nothing else. If you still didn't understand, I'll do one more question for you. I'll do one more question for you. Say f of x is equal to x power 4. F of x is equal to x power 4. Then can I say f of x plus h is equal to x plus h power 4? Then f of x is this much. So I want to do f of x plus h minus f of x by h limit h tending to 0. So this will become x plus h whole power 4 minus x power 4 by h limit h tending to 0. Now this can be, this is a power 4 minus b power 4 can be written as x plus h the whole square plus x square into x plus h the whole square minus x square by h. This can further be written as x plus h the whole square into x, x plus h the whole square plus x square into, this is a squared minus b squared into h into x plus h plus x whole by h. Now this h and this h will get cancelled. Now this is very small, h is very small. So I can write this as 2x square into 2x. That will make it 4x cubed. So if I perform this operation on this, I get 4x cubed. I performed this operation, that is limit f of x plus h minus f of x by h tending to 0 on x square, and I got 2x. I did it on x cubed and I got 3x square. I did it on x power 4 and I got it as 4x cubed. So if I do the same operation on x power 5, what will I get? 5x power 4. If I perform the same operation on x power 6, how much will I get? 6x power 5. If I perform it on x power n, how much will I get? N x power n minus 1. So this is what I will get. Now this operation is what gives you the differential of a function. It's a name, it's a new name that we are learning, a differential of a function. Okay, you remember I asked you for 1000 questions in calculus. So actually now you can do it, because you go from x power 2, 3, 4, you go up to x power 1000, all the way over 1000 questions. Yeah, it's so simple. Anyway, so what you are learning here is the differential of a function. We don't know the meaning of this differential of a function. It is like tables. 2 into 2 is 4, 2 into 3 is 6, 2 into 4 is 8, like that we are learning. So what is the differential of a function? If somebody asks you to do a differential of a function, you perform an operation f of x plus h minus f of x by h, limit h tending to 0. You perform this operation. If you perform this operation on x, you will get 1. If you perform this operation on x square, you will get 2x. If you perform this operation on x cube, you will get 3x square. On x power 4, you will get 4x cubed. Then if you perform this operation on x power n, you will get n x power n minus 1. Okay. Now this operation is known as the differential of a function. Mathematicians don't want to write words, they just want to write symbols. So it is written as dy by dx, or it is written as df of x by dx. Y is f of x, so it is df of x by dx. These are only symbols, nothing else. This can also be written as, I'm sorry, f dashed of x. So when they write f dashed of x, they mean dy by dx. Now you may ask, actually this dy by dx has lots of meanings. Lots of meaning. So first we understand how to do it. Once we do it, then there are many meanings. We will try to get those meanings. Suppose I ask you to draw the graph for the function y is equal to x. Then how will it look? It will look like this. You say if x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. So mark that point. If x is 0, y is 0, mark that point. So you need 2 points to draw. So draw a straight line. This is a linear graph. So whenever y is equal to x power 1 or anything with x power 1, it's a linear graph. Yeah? So this is the point 1, 1. This is the point 2, 2. So I can go this way, I can go this way. I see a nice triangle. So this is 1, this is 1. This angle here is theta. Then I'll get tan theta is equal to what? 1 by 1. That is equal to 1. So can I say the theta is equal to 45 degrees? Because I know tan 45 is equal to 1. So when I differentiated this, so can I say this tan theta will give you the slope of the graph y is equal to x. Slope is this. Slope is how slopey it is. So it is tan theta. Okay, we are learning quite a bit of stuff. Okay, I'll explain to you again slope. I want to explain that again. That is another part of maths, but yeah, we have to learn that. Suppose this point here is x2, y2. Suppose this point here is x1, y1. So if I draw a horizontal, do you understand that this distance here is x2 minus x1? Then do you understand that this distance here is y2 minus y1? Now, if you understand this, if this angle is theta here, can I say tan theta is equal to y2 minus y1 opposite side by adjacent side, x2 minus x1? Okay, this tan theta is called the slope of the line. Tan theta is the slope, and slope is equal to m, is represented as m. Slope is represented as m. Okay, so yeah, so that is about slope. So come back here, understand that the slope is equal to 1. Understand that what you got, dy by dx, is also equal to 1. So dy by dx gives the slope of a curve. Dy by dx gives you the slope of a curve. Here the curve is a straight line, so it gives you the slope of the straight line. Can you make notes? What I am trying to tell you is that the algebra that you have is related to calculus, is related to geometry, is related to trigonometry, is related to coordinate geometry. You should learn these relationships. You should learn these relationships because in your 10th standard or 9th standard, when you learned what is speed, speed at that time was rate of change of display of distance by time. Speed was distance by time. Now speed won't be distance by time. Now speed will be ds by dt. That it is the rate of change of distance. So rate of change is nothing but ds by dt. That is the differential of a function, dy by dx. Now this is the first chapter that we are going to learn. So right from the first chapter, we'll be talking of calculus, right? So that is why it is important that you work out 1000 questions for yourself, because only then you will understand. Yeah. Now for your information, in Europe, when you talk of Niels Bohr or Einstein or anybody, the first sign they would have of the child being great or child being knowledgeable is the age when the child starts doing calculus. So in the European culture, that is the olden days, the good olden days, they used to assume that if a child knows calculus by the time he is 14 or 15, then the child is going right, and only such children would be pushed for engineering. Okay, or engineering or science. So calculus was considered to be a measure of the ability of a child to read science, because maths is the knowledge, is the language of science. Anyway, so here it is, dy by dx gives you the slope. Dy by dx also tells you the rate of change of y with respect to x. That is the meaning of slope. How is y changing with x? So that is what, when we say rate of change of speed, rate of change of speed is nothing but change in speed by change in time. That change is dy. Okay. So I'll be explaining this many times, at least 10 times I'll explain. I hope today 10% of you have understood. Tomorrow when I explain again, another 10% would have understood. But it is understood only when you put in effort. Okay, thinking that you will just copy my words won't make any meaning. Next question that I have for you is this: find the differential of f of x is equal to ax plus b. Now, even though I am asking you only for differential, first thing is, at this stage, whenever somebody gives me a function, I would like to see how that function would look. Now, do you understand that this is a linear graph? So it will look like a straight line. So it will look like a straight line. Now, I would also like to understand what is this point. So at this point, x is 0. So if x is 0, that is y. So that is b. At this point, y is 0. So if y is 0, x is equal to minus b by a. So I would like to know these points. Okay, and then I'm drawing this. Okay, now let me find out the differential of a function. Now I am learning, so every time I have to write all this. Dy by dx is equal to f of x plus h minus f of x by h limit h tending to 0. Yeah, this is the definition. So if I give you 10 questions as homework, for all the 10 questions, I expect you to draw this. I expect you to draw this. I expect you to draw this. Okay, here you may be making a mistake. It is my job to rectify, but you have to do. Okay, so this is it. Now I will substitute. So it becomes a x plus h plus, in b there is no h, no x, so it will just remain as it is, minus ax minus b by h limit h tending to 0. This is only reminding me that h is a very small number. H is not 0. H is a very small number. So this b gets cancelled. So I'll have ax plus ah minus ax. These two will get cancelled by h. H gets cancelled, and I'll get a. So the differential of this number, this function is only a. So I will write it down again. Dy by dx is equal to a. What is dy by dx? I have to tell myself this is the slope of the line. Slope of the line. Huh? So if y is equal to ax plus b, what is this? This is the slope of the line. So the slope of this line is equal to a. Now what is the meaning of slope? If this angle here is theta, then tan theta is equal to a. But tan theta is equal to opposite side b divided by adjacent side. Adjacent side is again b by a. So b gets cancelled. A. This coordinate is minus b by a, but this distance is how much? This distance is plus b by a. Distance cannot be negative. So tan theta is equal to a. So tan theta gives me the slope of this line. So if I have one line here and I have another line here, which line will have a greater slope? Will it be a or will it be b? So obviously b will have a greater slope. So I have to digest what is the meaning of slope. So I will say b will have a greater slope. Than a. How do I know? If I sit on b, I'll slide down faster. I'll slide down faster. So I've applied some common sense. Okay. Now can you make some notes? Okay. So if you have learned it, a lot of things we have learned. So yeah, so we will not talk about geometry every time, but now we are learning, so we are trying to do. So I'll talk about this for one more example. Already I've explained to you. F of x is equal to x square. that is y is equal to x square. First, how will this graph look here? So y is equal to x square. Y is equal to x square means, do you understand that here it will look like this, and when it comes to minus x also it will look like this. So do you understand that the domain is x belongs to R, but do you understand that the range y belongs to R plus? Range is the value that y can take for the values of x. Because it is x square, it will be like this. Do you understand this? Do you understand that this side will look a mirror image of this side with this as the mirror, y-axis as the mirror? Do you also understand that this is an even function? Even function because f of minus x is equal to f of x. Okay, now I am asking you, suppose I take this portion and magnify it 1,000 times. How will it look? How will it look? Can I say that it will look like this, which is more or less a straight line? Which is more or less, if I take a very small neighborhood, how small neighborhood? So this is x, this is x plus h, small number, very small number, and I magnified it 1,000 times. Now, what is this value here? This value is f of x. What is this value here? F of x plus h. So when you do f of x plus h minus f of x, what are you doing? You are doing, you have this value, you have this value. So you are basically, this is f of x plus h, this is f of x, this is x plus h, this is x. So what is this distance? H. What is this distance? This much. So when you're dividing it by h, what are you doing? You are trying to find out tan theta. What is tan theta equal to? Slope. So how will you find out the slope of a curve? This is a curve, not a straight line. Not a straight line. So how do you think this could have happened? How do you think, what are you doing here? Do you see that differential of a function gives you the slope of a curve? That the differential of a function gives you the slope of a curve. Yeah. So when we differentiate, this is what we are trying to do. Okay. So I am done with today's class. I'll answer four, five questions. If anybody has sent, I will answer. Oh, there are a lot of questions. How B is greater? How B is greater means what? If you sit on B, where will you slide faster? I'll explain the graph. Don't worry. You please do some work, then come back. Okay. 15th slide I will do. Give me a few minutes. I'll do. What does dy by dx mean? I'm explaining. Next slide, last slide I'll show. So can you show the last slide on which you performed f of x ax square plus bx? I will show. Can you show 10th slide? Okay. Sir, for the previous question you gave, then what can we do for f of x plus h? I explained to you. Okay, I got it. What you want? Let me just show you. Yeah, let me give you a minute. Don't try to learn everything in one day. We can't. Nobody can learn everything in one day. Okay, slowly we will learn. Yeah. So now somebody asked me, fifth slide I've shown you. This is the fifth slide. Okay, we'll keep doing this again and again. We'll keep doing this. Let me go back to, yeah, so this I hope you are understanding. Ax plus b, x cubed, ax square. Whatever I did for x square plus bx, the same thing I did. Instead of x, I put x plus h the whole squared plus bx plus h. Then I subtracted this. Wait, this is not the one you wanted. This is also not the one you wanted. This is not the one you wanted. This is not the one. Yeah. So here it is. So you are asking me, how do I know B will be having a greater slope? If you sit on B, will you slide down faster? If you sit on A, will you slide fast? Obviously, if you sit on B, you will slide down fast, right? So that's how I know that B has a greater slope. Slope means what? Which road is more slopey? How do you know? That you sit on your cycle and then you just allow the slope to take you down, and then you see in whichever one you are reaching down faster, that will have a greater slope, right? So if from two different points you release water, wherever the water is reaching down faster, that will have a greater slope. So the same thing. So if you look at one surface like this, and if you look at another surface like this surface will have a greater slope than this surface, because if I sit here, I'll fall down faster than if I sit here. So here B doesn't have X, so there is only B. I don't have to do anything. Then I just performed this. Okay. Then I explain to you this graph again. So we will do this again in the next class. We will do the same thing again so that we'll understand better. But think about it. The important thing is to think about it. You can't learn. This is 11th and 12th, the 2 years math syllabus. So 2-year math syllabus, you can't, I don't expect you to learn it in 1 hour. So please, I have no expectations from you that you will learn it. But my only expectation is that you will work on it, and then you will show whatever I have done. You can work on your own, and then you should be able to show. Okay, so that is the expectation. Okay, fine. So see you again. Let me just check if there are any other questions that have come up after that. So can you explain the relationship between dy by dx slope again? You think next class I will explain. Then what does work on it mean? Work on it means go redo all these questions all over again without copying it. Find out the differential of x square. The questions that I have given, whatever I have done today, same thing you practice. I have written x square, you can write x power 5, you can write x power 6. I have written ax plus b, you can write ax square plus bx plus c. Yeah, you can write ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Okay, is b always greater than a? No. In the drawing that I have drawn, b is greater than a. I can draw a graph where a can be greater than b. If I just mathified both of them, it would have been different. If instead of b I had written a and a I had written b, means it can be greater. Then draw graphs of straight line, draw graph of x square, draw graph of x cubed, draw graph how x cubed will look. Yeah, is gravity acting on the coordinate geometry? Gravity is not acting, but you are asking me what is the meaning of slope. Means I'm explaining to you that if there are two slides and if you sit on that, you will slide faster there. That is why that slide will have a greater slope. There is an equation as y is equal to root of x. You said domain of the equation x belongs to, what about 0? Yeah, 0 included, 0 included. So it will become r plus 0. So the way they write it is actually they don't write it as r plus, they'll write r minus r plus. So that 0 is also included. Can x take the value as 0 and can y become infinity? X can't take a value 0 because we don't know what it is, but x can come to very small number close to 0. So 0.00000 million zeros and a 1. Then y will become a large number. Okay, but yeah, so that is it. So you wanted me to show you slides one by one. I will try to show them one by one. But try to write notes. Don't listen to these classes. Listening to these classes will not be of any use. So first one, second one, third one, fourth one, this is fifth one, six, இது நம்ம இதெல்லாம் திருப்பி நம்ம படிச்சுட்டே இருப்போம். So don't worry about it. Suddenly, okay, so we'll continue again in the next class. Yeah, bye.